Paragliding Show. Brought to you in conjunction with Paramotor Magazine. With your hosts, Michael Purdy, Jeff Goin, Bob Armand, and Paul Anthem.
Okay, it's recording. Go ahead.
Welcome back to the Power Paragliding Show. I am Jeff Goin, and we're on worldppg.com. I'm with Michael Purdy and Paul Anthem, and we're going to talk about the goods and the gear at Beach Blast 2010. I don't know about you, Paul, but I got to the point where I was thinking, another paramotor?
Well, I was just lapping it up like a dog. I just couldn't wait to see everyone bring their new wings and their new paramotor ideas, and there was a lot of it.
There is so much cool stuff out there. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch the sport progress. So I tried out probably 3 wings. One I tried before, and I know I'm going to forget a couple. The Vegasus, I don't even remember the maker of that. Pegasus, I think it is. The new Revolution 2 from Paramania. That is, it's kind of an advanced wing with great handling, trimmers, slow. It's made for more advanced pilots, but I don't think it's made to be their competition wing.
No.
And also the new Plasma, or the Plasma with the new risers anyway. And by the way, I got to tell you something about these reflex wings. When the manual says don't use brakes when it's fully accelerated and trim fast, it's serious.
You know what, Jeff? I tried out a reflex wing too. It's actually the second time I flew it, but I played around a little with it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You know,
what happened?
I fly regular paraglider wing normally, but so anyway, I got up on the Dudex Synthesis, which is a reflex wing. No, I'm sorry, the Nucleon.
Nucleon.
And of course, you launch with the trimmers in neutral. So I get up, I let the trimmers all the way out, so I'm in full reflex, and just naturally, I just take my brake toggles to affect a big turn. And it started making this odd popping noise. Like, something was flat, but probably went pop, pop, pop. I'm like, wow, is that warning me? So I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe I just hit a bunch of birds. And so then I go the other way with the brake toggle. So I went pop, pop, pop. I'm in full reflex. I'm like, oh, you dummy. You're not supposed to be turning in full reflex.
So what do you do?
Well, it's got tip steering. So
right.
I reached over there to the tip steering, and boy, it just spun that wing around nicely, almost a flat turn. And it didn't, and you're still in full reflex. It was really neat.
Yeah, it turns nice. Well, and so the thing about it is that I know that you're not supposed to do that, but since I'm competing, I'm thinking I got to use the brakes. I then later talked to Dean Eldridge, who says no, they use speed bar to modulate for height, to control height when you're flying a course down low, and the tip steering for steering. So obviously that's something you got to learn. If you fly these wings the way they're intended, they do exactly what they're intended. They go fast with great stability. But I was up there trying them all using, full trim fast, full speed bar, and trying various combinations of tip steering and brakes, and I took so many big collapses. Now, when I then did them and just did them the way that they're supposed to be with the tip steering, it was great. They're solid as a rock.
Right.
No collapses, no nothing, and they do exactly what they're supposed to.
And go very fast.
And they go very fast. I mean, I was going to compete with the Plasma. Of course, I didn't get my chance to do that. I was actually all hooked up to my Pluto during the practice.
Right.
But so it was a lot of fun though to try all these different wings.
Right. Hey, I want to hear about motors too, but time's going really fast. Let's finish up wings and then see what you had in the way of motors.
All right, one more thing I got to tell you about.
Motor. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Fellini. I'll get to that, but wings. So the Nirvana people, I love these guys. Pavel and Peter, these guys love life. They love PPG, and they make some good stuff.
Right. They are great guys.
Yeah, they're so much fun. So this wing, he brings out this little 16 wing, and I don't want it. It's too small. But then I watch him. Like, he weighs 180 pounds, and he's flying this thing, and he launches, and it's not a big deal. So, I'll try that.
So it's like a Spice kind of?
Oh, much smaller than a Spice. So I try that. Well, that was good, and actually, it's not really that fast. I mean, it's basically a beginner wing scaled down. Well, then he also has a 12.
Come on.
A 12 projected wing. 14 flat, 12 projected. And I thought, well, shoot, he's flying it, and the same thing. It wasn't that bad. So I tried this 12 and loved it. Again, it's a beginner wing. It's very sensitive. Yes.
Do you remember the name on that, Jeff?
Katana. The Katana Small.
That's Japanese for knife.
Is it? Okay. Well, it was good. So that was that. And what else? Probably a couple other wings I've forgotten. But so motors. Oh, there's some good stuff out there. I tried the Fresh Breeze Thorax.
What's it called? The Fresh Breeze what?
I think it's the Thorax. And it has a Purdy engine on it. Now, I got this Purdy engine. It's relatively new, and it runs very nicely. Good throttle. The starter may be a bit of a weak spot. I don't know about, I mean, it's a relatively new motor, so I can't say anything about longevity and maintenance, but smooth and powerful for its displacement. I was impressed. So I flew it on the Thorax. That was good. Good weight shift. Fair amount of torque, but that's more typical of the low hook in. I also flew the Parajet. Parajet, they are high end.
That's the aluminum frame one, the cast frame.
That's the sexy one, they say, out of the UK.
Yeah, it's kind of a little heavy, it seems. But
well, I mean, I weigh 143 and I can heft it without problem, but it's I don't know. Just go by the weight, I suppose, but they have managed the weight or the torque, and it's very smooth. The 160 that I flew, I think it's on the compact frame. It's a 160cc rotary engine, extremely smooth. In fact, I found it to be quite a bit smoother than the larger one, which is the only motor. The larger one is the one that I flew that has more thrust than I can handle. I was unwilling to go to full power. It's extremely powerful. The 160, far more manageable.
Wow.
And it's got a nice low, throaty sound. It's a pleasant sound.
Yeah.
Very much so. I like that. And they've done a good job. The frame, it's all high end. They had, I think, like a prototype throttle on it, so I couldn't really test that. I also flew the Fly Products, and I unfortunately have forgotten the name of it. It's a low hooking machine, does not have weight shift, but it also has the Purdy engine. Now, I got to tell you, this was the smoothest paramotor that I think I've ever flown. It's I don't know why. It's got a 3-blade composite prop, but with that Purdy, that Fly Products, it was just extremely smooth. Obviously, very well balanced.
Wow, we got a minute.
Okay. And what else did I fly? I think I did not get to fly the Nirvana. I wanted to fly that the really nice Nirvana. The Rodeo is a machine I've flown several times. So, and of course I flew my mini plane, and I can't think of anything else, but great stuff. And there was still a number of motors that I did not get to test, but the industry continues to progress, and I love to see it. Thanks to all the vendors for coming out and bringing their goods.
Good. Man, that went fast.
Yes, it did, in fact. Yeah, so we'll look forward to trying more of the next event.
Okay, you want to wrap it up?
All right. Well, that's it for the Power Paragliding Show for this Thursday night. I'm Jeff Goin with Paul Anthem and Michael Purdy. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Perfect.
Paramotor Magazine is the global English language magazine for paramotor, paratrike, and powered hang glider pilots. Read by passionate pilots in over 50 countries, its glossy color pages are packed with adventures, reviews, technology, and advice from the world's best pilots. Visit paramotormag.com